Ladies and gentlemen, we've already met. My name is Giselle. I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome you to Presentation House Theatre and to the world premiere. You're one of our very first audiences, and as such, you are extremely important to us. I'd like to take this moment to acknowledge that we sit on our First Nations neighbours' lands, the Squamish, the Tsleil-Waututh, and the Musqueam. And we thank them for allowing us to play on their land. Thank you. A reminder to anyone who has a device, please switch it off. Do not need it for the next hour. Away, away, away. Reminder also, no photographs or videography during the performance, as it is distracting to the performers. Without further ado. Oh, and I forgot to say, we will be doing a talkback afterwards. So if you have any questions during the performance, please keep them in your heads and we will talk about it afterwards. Thank you.
I need to do this.
But we agreed it was going to be me.
It could be either of you. We just need proof.
So let's go. So, I should. How? How should I? Should I? Should be. Should I be? Should I be me? Should I be me? Should I be me?
That's enough. Turn it off.
I be
So what are you thinking right now?
how I should be.
So we can put thoughts into people's heads.
So...
Now with the voice.
Should. I. Should. So I. Should be. Should I be? Should I be me? Should I be me? Should I be me?
Stop.
Why?
Should I be?
Can.
I be? I be me? I can be me?
I can be me.
Me.
I can be
I
me.
can
I can be me.
Turn it
I
off.
can be me. I can.
Are you okay?
So what's in your mind now?
I hear your voice.
What is it saying?
It keeps changing. It doesn't make any sense.
Can you let your mind go blank?
I'm trying.
Take a deep breath.
Still hearing the voice.
So, thoughts get planted in our heads by text or by what people say to us.
And they get stuck.
But that doesn't mean they control us.
Let's do that.
What? That's enough. Get out of the
But
chair.
no, we have to keep going with her or we'll have to start all over again.
I'm okay. I've got it.
What?
Get ready. These
Tell me.
are the words in my head.
Tell me first.
Let me just show
Why?
you.
It could be dangerous.
Really?
Let's go.
Be careful.
I am me, so should I? This is all I am, so should I? I am all my am should be. I am my all, so should I? Can all my should be me?
Should I?
That's enough. That's enough.
So, thoughts get stuck in our head, rearrange, and start to take over.
Exactly, as if they're coming from her own head, but they really came from the outside. This is when it gets dangerous.
How?
You know, because of where it could lead to.
I know what we can do. There is a way to stop this.
So,
I am me. I can be. I am what I am.
Where is
I
this
can.
going?
Should I? I can. Should I be? I can be me.
should I?
I can be me. Can.
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 She's
Good.
doing it, right?
Strong. That's good. That's strong. I can.
Why?
Am what I am.
It's not
I can be
Why?
good. You are strong. You are good.
I think there's
You
a
are
fault in the
strong.
program.
I can
Fault.
I can be me. I can be.
Is it all that was?
You are good. You are strong. You are good. You are strong. I can be good.
Fall.
anymore.
Definitely they're not mine.
What?
The voice has the power to take control.
Control of what?
Me.
The person whose head it's inside. We need to figure out how to stop this. I need to because, there's something I didn't tell you when we started this. It's a hard thing to admit, but sometimes, not often, thoughts get stuck in my head and begin to take over.
What?
You having an eating
But
disorder?
don't worry, I've got it handled. I've dealt with it. I'm fine now.
Which one is it? Anorexia, bulimia, binge
Why
eating
didn't you
disorder?
tell us? Are you okay?
I've dealt with it.
So, how did you get it?
Stop!
What did you...
Stop!
Look, all of this talk is bringing it back. I did not sign up to talk about me personally, and I did not sign up to talk about eating disorders. I hate hearing about them. I get shaky inside. All I want to do is find out how it all starts and if there's a way to stop this monster who takes over the head. Period. This is not about me.
Okay, so we don't talk about you, but we have to talk about it.
You're right. Why someone would need to shut down.
Yeah, why someone would want to block out the world.
Why a person would feel so trapped that they need to find a way to escape.
She could be the proof we're looking for. This could be why you got an eating disorder. Which one is
Stop!
it?
It could trigger her.
Trigger?
Make it happen again.
Are we trying to find the steps to it?
Yes?
So can't you just give me details?
No, she can't. Yes, I could. But it's just about the worst possible thing that we could do. Because just knowing the details can plant it into someone's head, even without them knowing.
So it's like...
Stop talking!
It doesn't matter what it is, because by the time that it happens, it's too late. We need to figure out how to stop the thoughts when they first take over.
Or we're too late and it has already taken control.
Look, the thing is like the tip of an iceberg, right? We're trying to figure out how it all starts before it builds up.
So, we
call it something else. Might help.
It could. But like it. Not it, but like it. Yes.
Yes.
Something not harmful.
But still an escape. Okay, ways to escape.
Disappear. Yes, but how?
Diving.
Scuba diving.
Caving.
That's downward.
Paddling.
Bobbing.
Sailing. Maybe escape up.
An explosion. Blast your way out.
But quieter, more secret.
Lifting off.
Ooh. Floating up, leaving pressure behind.
Levitate to escape. Yes, that's it. Look, what is that?
Where did that come from?
Angie's writing?
Angie.
Your friend you always talk
The
about?
one whose name you never
The
told
one who
us.
disappeared?
This is her diary. I've never seen it before.
Wait a minute. This is Orange Boys.
Orange Boys?
The kids you've been helping?
Wait a minute. This is my writing.
This poetry?
Yes.
I've been hacked. This is my private stuff.
What's private?
Orange Boy's writing.
He gave it to you?
Sort of.
What do you mean?
Well, he told me stuff and I wrote it down.
Wait a moment. What is this picture?
I recognize this picture. Isn't this one of the pictures from the workshop?
The ones we did in the schools? Yes, I
No.
think.
You were
No.
supposed to wipe your computer clean after
I
each workshop.
did.
What are you doing with the students'
Wait,
artwork?
so this orange boy, this kid you've been helping was one of the students from the
Do
workshop.
you have this orange boy's permission to keep his stuff?
It's not his stuff.
But you said that
I didn't
once.
say anything. There is no Orange Boy.
What?
I made him up.
You lied?
Why?
Well, when we started this, I didn't know anything about it, so I thought you would listen to me if I knew someone who had it. So I made him up using posts that I found on the internet. They're all true from real people.
Except Orange Boy is not real.
Well, what does that matter? All the posts are real. And besides, they all have the same problem.
You can't do that. Everyone's not the same. Everyone's different.
And people have different reasons for their
You
problems.
can't just lump us all together into one little neat package.
You were never supposed to see this in the first place. Which one of you did this to me?
You were never supposed to see my writing. It's private. Who put it in here?
How did you find Angie's diary? This is from 30 years
I
ago.
didn't.
And then it was
It
you.
wasn't me. It must have been you.
Don't look at me. Why did you do it?
Why would I do
It
it?
was you.
It wasn't me. It was you.
Nuh-uh.
Well then, who?
And why?
What
Oh my God.
is going on?
Who's doing this?
Angie, is it you?
Something
Or someone.
is trying to trick
Are
us.
you trying to help us?
The same trickster who hacked me.
I think it could be this theater. They say a ghost lives here.
Really?
You remember when the Paranormal Society came? They said they found proof.
So it's true?
Angie? Listen to this. My name is Angie, but everyone calls me Orangey. Because I ate so many Japanese oranges last Christmas, my skin turned orange. So now I am Orangey. But my Granny Lou still calls me Buttonnose, and my dad calls me Cannonball Head. September 1st, 1974, 44
Hey,
years ago.
I wrote this. Orange, woolly round, thick-skinned, citrus-scented, but what's this? Mushy insides? Bit by bit, the sunny world was peeled apart, leaving an inside of color faded in danger of being squished by orange. Everyone called me Orange because I would take an idea and peel away at it to find out what's inside.
Look at this. I peel the orange bit by bit and make a picture on my desk. Every day, a new picture. I post it on Instagram. It's a real rush to see the likes pouring in. That's the first post that I found that inspired me to do my research.
Who's that?
It's this Instagrammer. He does orange peel artwork. He's got like 1 million followers and he's only in elementary school. You know, you'd think he'd be on top of the world, but lately, his posts have been getting really dark. Here, look. Hashtag anxiety. Hashtag the rush is gone. Hashtag get me out of here.
Now, all of these writings are about people wanting or trying to escape.
And they're all about the same age when they wrote it, even though they're from 3 different generations.
They're all called orange. This diary could hold clues as to what thoughts get stuck and why.
What the?
What now?
I have an idea.
Hey, what were you reading earlier about what her dad and grandmother would call her?
Buttonnose and Cannonball Head.
Button-nose, cannonball head. Got it. Keep going.
Here's from Angie, also known as Orangey. She's 6. I love school. I love stars. I get lots and lots of stars on my work because I never get anything wrong. I'd like to rhyme. Mat, bat, cat, sat, hat, rat, fat.
She's good at things.
She was always the smartest in the class.
Starlight, star bright, all my stars are shining bright.
Loves her stars. Is a star.
December, she's 7. I get my report card. Straight A's again. I love it. Yippee!
Loves her A's. Is the best.
She's still 7. I get 1 wrong. It was on my math test. I hate it. Hate it. Hate it. Hate it.
Hates being wrong. Wait.
My face goes red and I try not to cry in front of everyone. I don't want mom or dad to find out, so I rip it apart and throw it away. I hate stupid, fat, red X's.
Stupid, fat, red X's.
Say that again.
Stupid, fat, red X's.
June, a perfect report card again. My sister calls me Goody Goody and Little Miss Perfect, but I don't care. It's better than Butterball. My family called me Butterball last month. Aha!
These could stick.
Little Miss Perfect, Butterball, Butterball, Little Miss Perfect. But I still don't mind Granny Lou's Buttonnose. She didn't seem to mind the nicknames. Everyone loved her. She was always good at everything.
I guess you can never tell what's going on in someone else's head.
Unless you have their private writing.
Oh, I see.
Right there.
She's 8. Spelling is so scary. The teacher puts up the Friday's spelling test up on the wall.
Mine is covered in stupid, fat, red X's. I am scared every Friday for the test, and every Monday for the big, fat, red X's. I keep getting too many wrong. Wrong, wrong, wrong. I try and try, study and study, but wrong, wrong, wrong. I should get them all right. I should do better.
Those are the first shoulds. Say that again.
I should get them all right.
Should.
I should do better.
Should.
I used to be fearless. When I was 2, I did the dead man's float. I watched my big sister swimming, took a breath, and went for it. Face down in the water. Mom screamed, but I was fearless.
Fearless floater. Now she's scared of red X's.
It's interesting how she uses the words stupid and fat together to describe an X.
A great fear of getting something wrong when you're used to getting things right. These anxious thoughts could get stuck in your head.
This would parallel this post I found on Reddit here. Everyone, including my family, presumes I'm on top of the world. Everyone loves me, I've got a great family, and I'm super funny. But about a year ago,
About a year ago, I was walking to school when I...
suddenly can't breathe.
I didn't know what was going on, so
I hide,
behind someone's fence and lay there.
gasping for air.
by the time I realized, I
Start to recover.
But school had already started, so I pretended I had the stomach flu and went back home. I didn't tell anyone about it because I think it is because...
I am weak.
and I have to get stronger at not worrying so much, but it's happening more and more. Oh, so like Angie, the great fear of getting things wrong and thoughts get stuck in his head.
Stop! This does not ring true. Yes, thoughts got stuck in my head, but I personally have no problem getting things wrong. I actually like it. It makes for better art. Like this poem that I read. It's proof. It was supposed to rhyme. I chose not to and got a big fat fail on it, and I seriously did not care.
I don't think you should say fat.
Should.
Should.
Right. I don't think it is right to keep using fat as an adjective for fail. There's nothing wrong with fat. We need it to survive.
The point is that I know that I'm smart. I've always known that I'm smart, so I seriously did not care if I got a big fail on my work, or if people don't like what I post. Maybe that affects some people, but not me.
Okay, so you don't care about failing, but did you ever feel like a failure?
Yes, we all do sometimes. You call yourself orange, but you have the legs of an elephant.
What?
That's right here, your poetry.
I was inspired by something that happened at school.
What happened?
This good friend of mine, a guy and I, we had this big fight, and it resolved just fine, but in the middle of it, he said, "You call yourself orange, but you have the legs of an elephant."
How old were you?
Grade 5.
And he said that?
Yeah. And I wrote that.
Orange elephant. Heavy, pudgy, fat, sad face. Too large for this world.
It's haiku. I was supposed to write free verse. Another fail. Oh well.
And did you consider yourself pudgy, fat?
No, not at all. I was a skinny kid. But I am heavy. Always have been. In swimming lessons, all my friends were floaters. I was the sinker. They would be floating all around me while I would sink straight to the bottom, way too heavy to float. The swimming teacher taught me how to take in gulps of air so that I would become lighter and go up, up, and eventually float. I am in grade 6. There's a pool party. Being a good diver, I am showing off my skills. Total confidence, soaring through the air, I do a perfect 1.5 somersault and glide head first, toes pointed straight into the pool. When I come out, I can hear the kids at the side of the pool. They are laughing. I hear them saying, "Big splash, thunder thighs, big splash." Sometimes I still feel heavy, like in those swimming lessons. Heavy, heavy brings me down, down, down to drown. I sink. I am the sinker. Gulp air, gulp, gulp like a guppy. Make my tummy balloon big. Big splash, they say joking. Thunder thighs, they say joking. Suddenly, everyone is joking. Dad pinches my belly. "What's this?" he says. "Just joking." A girlfriend pats my thighs. "Wow," she says. "Just joking." My mom says, oh, another growth spurt." "Just joking." "You call yourself orange, but you have the legs of an elephant." "What do you mean?" "I didn't mean anything." "Just joking, just joking, just joking."
What was that?
That was something I just wrote. Those are the thoughts that affected me years ago.
Are you sure you're okay?
I'm fine. I am perfectly fine.
Was it like this thing that I made using some audio I found on YouTube? Here.
Someone came to talk to my class about tough, manipulative people who pretend to be your friend but make you feel worthless. They make fun of you, but you keep knocking on their door and asking to hang out. I witnessed one kid on the playground sneakily putting pressure on another kid, and I think, thank God that kid isn't after me. But then I think, maybe they are after me. It's like I've got a kid like this inside my head. How can I run away from these kids when they're inside my head?
So?
Yes, that's like the thoughts in my head.
The poem you just wrote, those thoughts, they're from your family and friends, right?
Yeah, where do you think they got their ideas about what you should be like?
I can't be sure, but maybe.
Maybe we all have full standards of what we should be like because what we see in the world around us.
I know where this is going.
Full standards created by social and mass media,
I knew it!
trying to live up to a criteria that comes from an unnatural made-up world.
Okay, look, stop. I refuse to blame social and mass media. Media is part of our lives. We can't go around blaming it for everything.
Well, there's this sense of what we should look like. We get judged on that criteria by parents, friends, and ourselves. Okay, let's see. There's this feeling of what we should look like this is what they call shredded, by the way, or this, and in fact, we all look different, and we should look different.
Wait a minute. Angie didn't have social media in her day, and she still got thoughts stuck in her head.
You're right, but we had magazines with super skinny models.
So, maybe social media didn't start it.
Okay, but
maybe media accelerated it.
we see so much of it all around
We
us,
see all these perfect people being happy.
and we can escape from
And we
it.
think that if we could be like them, we could be happy too.
Absolutely.
And it just keeps coming at you. There's so much of it.
So how could we? Oh,
Enough!
my goodness.
Do you agree that every single person out there is inundated with mass media?
Yes.
Okay. Well then why isn't everyone trying to disappear to escape the monster in their heads? I never had a problem with the way that I looked. It was only when I realized that others had a problem with the way that I looked that it hit my feelings hard.
So maybe certain people are more sensitive than others.
I am in grade 4. My friend's mother was getting into photography and wanted to take a photo of all the best friends using her new digital camera. I don't know if it's an expression on a mother's face or a look from one of the girls, but I suddenly feel like I don't belong in the photograph, that I will ruin it. I look at all my friends, and in that moment realize that they are all very pretty, with their slim figures, pin noses, and braces, which somehow look cute instead of clunky on their otherwise perfect appearances. And I am definitely the only one that isn't. I pretend to make a joke and laugh my way out of the photograph.
Oh my gosh, I think it was me.
What are you talking about?
Angie, look at this. Look at this.
You thought that was a joke?
Huh.
September, first day of school. All the girls were at the playground. As soon as I set my foot on the school ground, all the girls run away from me.
Even my very best friend.
That was me. Sorry.
I walk towards them.
Everyone stares, turns, and runs further away.
November. Haven't told anyone, not even my family. I pretend all is normal I hang out all alone.
December. The teacher tries to make the girls work with Angie.
Oh no!
They'll pretend to help and work with her, but secretly whisper behind her back.
I still pretend everything is okay. What is wrong with me?
January. Finally, everything's back to normal.
Everyone likes me again, even my best friend.
It's like someone flipped the switch and decided Angie was okay. She wanted to ask them why it happened.
But I'm afraid that if I do, it will happen again. So things continue like it never happened.
Pug nose! I can't believe I did that. She was my best friend.
March. A weird thing happened. Angie got up as usual, dressed in her favorite clothes, ate her porridge and toast, and went to brush her teeth in front of the bathroom sink. Sink. Everything is the same as usual. The bathroom walls are pink. The middle one, please. Pink. There is a mirror above the sink and a mirror on the wall. Smile. There's sunlight in her hair. You ready? Put it down. And go.
I am putting toothpaste on my toothbrush, and I glance up as usual, and bam! This ugly person is staring back at me with a pug nose. Oh my God, I did that. I was the one who called her pug nose. I did that all the time. I thought it was our joke. This is my fault.
Keep going.
Not just a little ugly, but really, really ugly. Up till this moment, I hadn't thought much about it. I was what I was, and I liked what I saw. Me. Eyes sparkling, freckles from the outdoors, ready for the adventure of the day. I was one lucky kid. But now, bam! This ugly person is staring right back at me. Where did she come from?
Ugly.
Pug nose.
Ugly.
You there?
Yes. Julie.
Nose.
Get it out. Get it out. Get it out. Cut it off. Get it out. Cut it off. Get it out. Get it out. Get it.
Are you all right?
Yes. Yes.
That's it. That's what happens inside the head. What's it like
It's like a buzzing.
inside your head?
Big mess.
A messy sound.
And then anxious.
Like being lost.
A sinister sound.
It's like we are separated and really, really far away.
Even when you're right here, it's like looking backwards through binoculars.
But with a wider perspective, like there's something between us and them.
Like a force.
More like something solid, see-through, blocking.
Like a separation.
It's lonely.
like looking through a glass wall.
Yes.
It's like there's this glass wall separating us from everyone.
We are here, but they can't hear us.
Like a murky mind mess in here.
Fuzzy, insistent.
It's like something is invading, filling up our head with sadness, but we can't understand where it's coming from.
Like smothering smoke.
Dark black soot seeping in.
More gray and more like creeping in.
But always sound. Soft at first.
Smothering.
Louder, more annoying.
A swarm of wasps.
Yes, and then whispering voices.
And then the sound builds up. Sound pressure.
Yes.
And then
And then we shut out the world.
Two,
Two
then?
There is nothing. We are lost. No air.
And then
We disappear.
Disappear.
forever.
Forever? We die?
Yes.
No, not always.
Angie did.
Yes, but not everyone does.
Well, how do you know?
I'm here, aren't I?
But we could lose you.
I've survived.
For now, you will need our help.
Yeah, we're here to help.
You are helping.
So then, what's it like to disappear?
No, she can't go there.
Yes, I can.
She says she can, and she says it helps. What's it like to disappear?
It's like your head becomes this huge space that you go into. You're all alone. All you have is the air around you. You've escaped.
Is it like going inside of this?
Yes. I'll show you.
No, you don't need to do this.
Yes,
No,
I need to.
no, you can't do this.
We can't keep pretending like this doesn't exist. Yes, it's horrible, and yes, it's uncomfortable, and yes, it might be dangerous to you. But we need to all understand this monster better.
But you will bring the monster back.
What if we can show that it's me?
No, I won't let you.
People need to understand this.
Then, I'll do it. I'll go in.
What?
I know what the voices are like. I can face them.
This is not easy.
If I had known what was going on in Angie's head and how to stop it, she would be still here today. I owe it to Angie.
This is a lot more dangerous than you think. You don't know what you're getting yourself into. Let me help you. Ready?
Ready?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh. It's beautiful.
You're not all the way in. You have to keep going. You're not even close to disappearing.
So I go further?
Yes.
Okay.
Not so beautiful now, right? Okay, you better come out now.
Okay.
Keep going.
Was I escaped?
The feeling of escape can only last for a second, and then you're trapped. You better come all the way out. Okay?
Wait a moment. It's not that I look fine. I must be fine. I might care. I must be fine. I must be fine. No. Leave me alone. I'm fine. I'm fine. Leave me alone. I must be fine. I must be fine. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. I must be fine. I must be fine. No, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Now look at me.
Now come out.
No.
Where are you
I'm
going?
gonna keep escaping.
No, don't go back in now. This is dangerous. Help for air now. You're good. You're strong. You're smart. You're good. You're strong.
I am strong.
You're smart. You're my friend.
I am a
You're
good
strong.
friend.
You're good.
I am a good friend.
Smart.
I'm a good friend.
You're a good friend.
I'm a good friend.
Forgive yourself.
I forgive myself.
You're a good
I
friend.
forgive myself. I forgive myself. I am a good friend.
You did it.
That was scary.
Why'd you go back in?
I couldn't stop. I just had to keep escaping.
Now you know. Now you understand what we go through.
Oh,
Dangerous.
I had no idea. It wouldn't let me go. I felt so trapped. I had to keep going further and further away from here, away from me. It was so dark. I was so hopeless, so trapped, worthless. Couldn't breathe, can't see. I didn't know, and
What
then...
the?
Oh no! Oh no! Help! Help! I'm good. I'm strong. I'm good. I'm strong. I can be me. I can be me. I'm good. I'm strong. I can be me. I'm smart. Help! Help! Help!
Kimmy, good. You can be you. You can be Flash. Flash is good. You can be you. You are you. You have good friends. You're strong. You're smart. You are smart.
I'm smart.
You're smart.
I belong.
You belong. You belong. Oh, you did it. You're back.
I am so sorry.
Oh, no need to be sorry. You have survived.
I can't believe it came back on me like that.
You are okay.
It's usually a lot harder, but with you cheering me on, it really helped.
I never believed it was possible you could come back.
We beat it.
We did it.
I didn't. And I didn't do anything. I stood here. I didn't do anything.
What?
It's okay.
Why couldn't I do anything? I mean, you could have died, and I just stood here doing nothing. Why couldn't I do anything? I could have known what to do.
Oh.
I could have helped. I could have come over.
What are you doing?
Oh, what an idiot. I'm sorry.
What are you saying?
It was okay. It's okay. I'll shut my mouth.
It's okay to talk. It's okay to eat. You have helped.
I have.
You are helping.
All I've done is try to understand.
Just by trying to understand is a huge help to us.
It is?
You aren't afraid to talk about it. That means a lot. You ask the questions. That helps.
So asking questions helps.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming today. Thanks for being an awesome audience.
Yes.
So, we have a little bit of time, for all of you to ask us questions, and then we have some questions for you as well to chat about. But first, let's get to know each other a little bit.
I'm Manami.
My name's Joel,
Ilana.
and then up in the booth, we have Giselle, who you met earlier. She was standing up here. And then in the back, we have Nicole, who helps us out with all of the different things that we have to do throughout the show. And we also have some friends from the Looking Glass Foundation that we want to say thank you to as well. They help us out with the show, and they help us out with some information on the show. And they're also a really great resource. They're an eating disorder recovery center. And they're a really great resource if you ever feel any of the feelings that the characters were feeling in this show, feeling anxious, feeling trapped, that kind of thing. You can reach out to them and we can talk a little bit more about them later if you like. But for right now, let's see if there are any questions that you have for us. Yeah, so quick, right over here. Where did we get the giant balloon?
From our neighbor, United States of America.
They actually don't make them in Canada. I had to keep getting them from the U.S.
US, yeah.
And it's a special balloon that's designed to go into, so don't try it with a normal balloon. And if for some reason you go to the States and find a giant orange balloon, make sure that you do it with a friend that knows how to do it, because it's really not easy. We have to spend a lot of time getting the balloon.
Yes, prepping and knowing how to do it.
How about right behind?
Has this happened to anyone in real life?
Yeah.
So I have two answers for you. One, the playwright, Linda Carson, she had an eating disorder when she was younger, and she wrote another play about it that was for high school students. And so this play was targeted at a younger age, because when she did the high school show, the feedback that she got was that it targeted the age where it was already happening, but where's a show that could talk about like what leads up to those things happening, which is what eventually turned into So How Should I Be? I also survived an eating disorder. So all the stories in the show are actually true. Like Orange Boy compilation is actually real stories from the internet. My story is loosely based off of what I've been through, and then hers is based off the writers.
Why don't we go over to this side now? Up in the back there, it looks like you're wearing a hoodie with brown sleeves. Yeah, you.
When you say eating disorder, is that a physical thing or is it a mental state?
Great question. Giselle, we don't have any looking glass.
No, we don't. Could you repeat the question? Sorry.
So the question is for everybody: what is an eating disorder? Is it a physical thing? Is it a mental thing? I think not. So none of us are qualified to really discuss or be counselors about eating disorders. But maybe Alana can.
Sure.
can tackle that.
Yeah, again, like Joel said, I'm not a professional, but I would say that an eating disorder is something that happens, and it can happen to anyone. And the best way to explain it, which is how the Looking Glass Foundation has described it, is that it's a way of controlling your emotions. That in the moment might feel like it will relieve you of when you have like chaos in your head, but it actually can be very dangerous and negative. And so it's not like a thing that you catch, like a cold, but it can happen to anyone when you are not expecting it, and it's totally okay that it does. And it is recoverable. The Looking Glass Foundation does help people through it, so it's not a permanent state, if that answers your question.
And we've talked a lot about Looking Glass. They're a great resource, and we have a ton of pamphlets out there. But a question to all of you is: so if you yourself are feeling that way, or if you notice any friends feeling those ways, what do you think you could do? It's like the question at the very end: what can we do?
You can tell them about what you're trying to learn in class.
Yeah. Yeah, you can refer them
You
to
can
the
talk-
Looking Glass.
Totally, absolutely.
Question was, how did I get into the balloon so fast? Practice. Lots of practice. And Giselle preps the balloon. It needs to go through a series of stretching and
Massaging.
resting and massaging so that it doesn't pop. It pops nicely at the end. But how did, my question to you, the orange balloon, how did you feel when my character went into the orange? How did you feel? What was the representation of that? Anybody? Oh, way back there.
You were suffocating.
Yeah.
How much preparation did this entire thing take? Like, when did the idea come to surface? How much acting time? How many practices? Like, what?
Let's get back to that question in 2 seconds
Yeah.
so we can get an answer from
Yeah.
Anamis, but
Did
I'll
you-
hold on to that.
Did you have answer right behind
Yeah.
to my question?
You were suffocating.
Suffocating.
Suffocating?
You felt, my character was suffocating. I was suffocating,
No, I
yes.
thought you were suffocating.
Pardon?
I thought you were suffocating because there was no air in there.
There you go. Yeah,
Anyone
feel of
else?
suffocation, yes.
No, actually.
Funny.
Funny.
It looked kind of funny, yeah. Comical, yes. What else? Did you have hands up there?
What did it mean when she was
What did,
born?
what,
Or
yeah.
what did it make you think? Anyone else?
Yes.
Is she gonna
You're
die?
gonna die, yes.
I thought that the character was scared and he was ready to.
Yeah. Get, not come out? Yeah.
Yeah.
She, what you said, repeating, it reminded of you that you wanted, that my character wanted to be away,
Like curl up in
curl
a
up in the ball, away from things. An orb. Yeah?
I just have a question about you. How did you, like,
Yeah.
how did you, how did someone, like, you know when you were, like, floating, how did, like, what did you do? Like, did someone get you from behind? Were you attached to something from the ceiling that blew up?
Sure, yeah, so the question's about illusions. The question's about how did we do the lifting up thing, and or the levitating for Alana. And the answer to that is that, so for this show, we did a bunch of illusions. And we had a guy named Joel Eddington, who's a professional magician, and he taught us a bunch of stuff. He showed us a bunch of stuff, and he designed some illusions for us. And because of that, we are now part of a group of magicians. And the magicians don't reveal their secrets. Which is a bummer, I know, for all of you. But what I would encourage you to do is that you can totally become part of that group of people who know. And because there's tons of resources on the internet, tons of ways to find out. And I'd be interested in hearing any theories that you have, because that's always fun to try to figure stuff out. So that is the answer. But does anybody have an idea why we would put all of those illusions into the show?
Illusions, yeah.
Person. The pink, yes. Yeah.
Okay, maybe because, like, you were using it kind of like as like an actual way of describing how it would feel, but with an object.
Totally. Using it
Yeah.
as a metaphor, as a way to describe how it feels. Anyone else? You in the back? Yeah, you.
Yeah, like for some of them, again, like you were, like you showed the orange balls, like you were suffocating it yourself. Like, if you were to talk about, like, oh, it feels dark, like, it wouldn't help some of the people who haven't been into this topic much.
Yeah.
So with that, you're helping people understand what it is, and like how
Totally.
the mind is and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, helping people understand what it's like if they've never experienced it.
Yeah, and I know for myself, like, whenever I start feeling a certain way, sometimes I think of things that I've seen in the past and go, oh, that's what it is. It's a good
Yeah.
way to identify.
Can I answer that question from before?
Yeah, from before.
How long it took
Sorry, how long it took to do
to do
what?
everything.
Oh, to do everything.
Prepare the show. Go ahead.
Sure. The actual making of the show started 3 years ago with Linda Carson and the playwright and Brett Little. Is it 3 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they did bunch series of workshops and this experiment, and then came to this phase about a year ago with you guys
Yeah.
coming in, joining the group and experimenting, workshopping, and then we started to rehearse this play in September, at the end of September. So it's about 3.5 weeks of lots of table work and lots of feet work. Yeah.
Let's go.
You?
Wait. Oh, there in the back.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, great.
hold on.
Was the orange good?
What's the orange?
Was the orange good? I like oranges.
Yeah.
Oranges are tasty.
I have a question
Yeah.
about that moment, actually. I have a question for you guys. In that moment at the end when Joel was like eating the orange, what did that part like mean to you? What do you think was going on for Joel? I'm really curious.
Like he didn't care.
Like he didn't care. Okay, he didn't care. What else was there? Stress eating. Yeah. And over there.
Maybe you had some things that you guys set in a different way.
Ah, so yes,
Going through what we were doing, but in a different
different
way.
way.
That is so interesting because we got 3 very different
Different.
answers. What does that say to you that that 3 people can watch the same thing happen, but think 3 different things are happening for that person? What does that say?
You in
What do
the
you think that
pink
means?
and gray?
Ah. That he was experiencing the eating disorder. But
This is actually totally.
interesting.
I think we have time for one more question or comment. One more question. And I'll just say before we take that question, that we're going to hang out here for a couple minutes after the show. So as you're on your way out, if you have something to say, burning in your mind, please ask us, or you can always email us here at Presentation House. We love getting emails. So we'll take one more question.
How about you?
What was the hardest thing preparing for the show?
Ooh, what is the hardest thing
Hardest thing.
preparing for the show? That's
Want
a good
you
question.
chat?
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah. Oh, are you waiting for me?
I can start. I can start if you're still looking. So the hardest thing for me is that I both acted in the show and made all of the video stuff. So I was doing two jobs at once. So I got some help from a friend named Milton. So he helped me program the whole show. But the trickiest part for me, definitely, is that there's a lot of the show that I'm actually from the iPad. You guys got to play with the iPad earlier and put everything up on the screens. I'm doing that during the show. So that's a tricky part because sometimes I'm doing it, sometimes it's Giselle doing it. So it's that trade-off. That's the trickiest part for me. And talking while an orange is in my mouth.
That's a good one. I think I had so much fun. The hardest thing. So I'm claustrophobic. I'm really scared of going into small places. So learning how to get into the orange was very, personally, was difficult for me. But as the show says, you know, the message is that you keep having those positive thoughts. I can do this. I have good friends who's going to help me. I have a great stage manager who's going to help me. Nicole is backstage. It's going to be okay. So these positive thoughts, what I can do to overcome my actual personal fear, and that beginning of it was a difficult part. But here we are. doing that.
I'm thinking of two things. One is that because I'm like the only one in the actual cast that had an eating disorder, I think there were moments of me that were kind of like, ooh, am I going to be comfortable doing this on stage? Like, what's that going to bring up for me? But it ended up being really like a safe space, and the team is so great that I felt really supported, and I was able to talk very freely about what I went through and express when something didn't feel right. And then the other thing was just the crunch time, because this show is so new that even like we opened the show and the next day we made changes. So just always being on top of it and making sure that the show is like as good as it can be, even though that we were constantly shifting things super last minute. I think that's always a really good challenge.
Yeah.
What an incredible bunch of questions.
Yes.
You are all awesome. You are a great audience. I want to say, please keep that conversation going back at school. And if this show brought up any thoughts for you, or you went, hey, I feel like that sometimes, please do reach out to your friends, your teachers, your parents, the Looking Glass Foundation. Absolutely. Thank you so much for being a great audience.
Thank you.